G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daystro, the Aussie Geek, and today we will be looking at the KFC Crash Hog, aka Wreck-Gar. And this one has been picked out by my niece, and I am lucky to have a bit of an observer tonight. My niece is here with me as I record this, so say hello.
Hi.
And she's going to observe me while I'm doing this, maybe even give me a little bit of hand. We'll see what happens. So here we have Wreck-Gar, and he looks rather nice. I must admit, I am enjoying quite a few of KFC's offerings. I have this one. I, of course, have the Octane, and I can't remember what the other one was. But I got like three. Transistor, so Blaster. I will admit, I got this guy from Save Your Toys, and one of the nipple blasters was broken. Thankfully, I was able to get onto Zing, and he was able to get me a new one. So that was awesome of him. And he does look really nice. You will notice that he doesn't have all the extra effects on him because it's pain enough to transform, let alone have all those extra bit of plastic on there. There's a bit of chrome here. He does roll-ish, even though all the wheels have got spikes. And of course, you can do a different transformation for the front wheel. We'll see if I can get this to actually work. You're going to untab these, and we'll just pull these out and put them to the side. And then all you're going to do, if I can get this without actually untabbing everything, is we're just going to fit that between here, plug that in there, and voila, you have Wreck-Gar in his alternative bike mode, which honestly I think looks absolutely ridiculous. So, but we'll leave it for the way it is at the moment, and we will do, of course, our size comparison. And we have our usual comparison. Here is Windblade. She is just a bit shorter than he is from nose to tail, due to the length he is. I think she's actually only wider because of her wings, and he is, of course, a lot taller. And honestly, you can take this figure, or even your RC or your Elite One or whichever, and actually put them on here to ride. Honestly, I would love to have the female junkie on, just to be able to ride Wreck-Gar. And here we have his accessories. Here is his bonging thing from the 86 movie. We have the top of his axe. We have some guns here. I haven't taken them out because I just don't see the need for Wreck-Gar. He does have his little TV, so he can learn Earth's languages, and he has all his mirrors and stuff there. Of course, he has his instruction book and card. So before we get down to transformation, there is a few ports here, whole bunch here, and of course you can put the axe using these tabs here to just plug wherever you want. Now, of course, being a Junkyong, if you have any of the other ones, you can basically pull this guy apart and put bits and pieces however you want. But let's get down to transformation. So once again, we're going to pull the front off here, and we'll put that aside. I'm also going to take the nipple guns out because I don't feel like breaking them, just in case. And we will get down to it. So what we will do first is, and this is somewhat tricky sometimes, so you're going to untab here, rotate this around, because what you're going to do is you want to get this on here, and it can be a little fiddly to sort of just getting on there. Most of the time I just flick it, and it just tabs in rather easy. Get it up there. If all else fails, it'll just pop off, and I'll have to, there we go, easiest time I've ever had. So next, what we're going to do, excuse me, is we're going to untab these feet. They tab in pretty well, and also the hands are currently plugged in here, so we'll just sort of push these back just to give them some clearance, and then we can start to bend. I know it's tabbed in somewhere. Where are you? Actually, that's what it is. Try on splitting the legs first. There we go, and we can get the other tire out, which is rather tight at the moment. Actually, I'll take these out too because I know they'll probably pop off somehow. So I'll put the other wheel aside, excuse me, and we're going to extend the leg. You're going to fold this bit down. You're going to push the leg up in place. You're going to fold this out and fold out this little piece. So that will be your heel. And there we go. We have one leg all done. So let's get to the next one. So I forgot to spin the feet around, pretty easy. So once you've got like this, you're pretty right. Next, we're going to pull down the front skirts and we're going to rotate these. So that's pretty much all done. And now we get to the real fiddly bits. So we're going to pull this back to reveal his head and whatnot. We're going to untab these like so. And then we're going to rotate out the arms. Now I will point out that they can be a bit of a pain to do, especially getting them back into vehicle mode. Alright, so let's see how I remember how this works. So we'll lift up the head and just get it completely out of the way. And we'll just fold these forward. We won't lock it in place just yet, because the hardest part is yet to come. It is this back end. So that pops out. There's just two tabs, plugs in there. You want to close the handles. This is why I do not put the steering wheel and that on. You're going to want to fish. You want to sort of push this through, and this is once again one of those moments of buggery. Try to angle it the right way. Probably help if I turn that the other way. Just try to get that down, and that's all in the way. Come on. Get in there. How are you? This always is a pain in the butt for me. Oh, that actually might help a little bit. Push that forward. Is that going to fish through? Yep, there we go. If everything doesn't get stuck. There we go. So we got all that through. I hope you actually saw that and it didn't lock everything. So we're going to rotate the handlebars, and that will sit into the back, and these will go on the inside, which we'll get to in a moment. And then of course that can just sit flat. Oops, sorry about that. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to try and fish the handlebars just in the sides. Probably would be helpful to get just these out since I haven't done it yet. And that's just gonna go down. See if I can find the grooves. Come on, there we go. Oh, not quite, come on. Spread out a bit more. Because you can just see, I don't know if you can, just in here, you can see the handles bars show up. And then these just tabs in the back, like so, both sides. And then they can just go down and we have a back in place. All right, so next we're going to rotate his head around, and we're going to, with some great difficulty, just sort of around the plastic. And I think this is how I popped my moustache off. These just come down. Where are you? I bet there's two tabs trying to fight me, I bet you. Yeah, there we go. Got it under. That just goes under there. I'll try to get it under there. There we go. And now his head's in place. And now we can just do the easier bits, which is just extend the arm. You want this piece to the back, and this tends to pop off one of my arms. The hand's the right way around. Stretch that out. Rotate it around. And we have him in his robot mode, although my feet kind of give me a little bit of trouble. You can fix his antlers up, his horns, what you can call it. One of these moustaches are actually glued in, and I'm surprised his goatee hasn't come out. I'll just fix that elbow up, and there we go. So he does seem rather thin, excuse me, from this view, but honestly he does look good. I would buy more of the Junkions, but I just got nowhere to put them, in absolute honesty. So what we can do is we can arm him up. Oh, we'll fold these down too to get them out of the way. And we'll do that before we get down to articulation. And there we go. Excuse me. Here we have Wreck-Gar all spikied up. He is missing one piece, but we will get to that in a moment. Because what you can do is you can take the front wheel, You can pull these off. And of course, you can put these wherever you want. If you want them on the other leg, fine. This is just how I usually have him displayed. Actually, honestly, I usually just have him displayed in his bike mode. Honestly, it looks really good for that way. But what you can do is you can take the two handles, you can plug them in together, and then you can take this and you can plug it in the top. And now you have his axe, which honestly I thought was a lot shorter. And you can just position it how you want. There is a couple of tabs here and here. And you can just open his hand up. It is a tab in the palm method. And you can just plug it in there. And now he has one of his weapons. And of course, the guns work the same way. There's various tabs and such. So there we go, but let's get down to articulation. His head can kind of do a full 360, but you sort of start having to angle things around the back because of the way the fuel tank is. His head looks up that far, it looks down that far. His arms can do a full 360, it can go out this far. He does have bicep rotation, and I will point out once again, those arms will come off. He does have... Get this off for a second. He does have a double jointed elbow due to transformation. He can also go backwards if you really want to do something with that. He has has rotation at the wrist. He has typewriter fingers, these 3 fingers on one pin, and his trigger finger is on its own, and the thumb is on a single ball peg. You can open up these side things, which is where I usually put his TV. If you, whoops, that should be a bit more tabbed in, try that again. If you lift up the side skirt, his leg can go up that far. There's no side skirt at the back, but it can go back that far. If you lift his pouches out of the way, it can go up that far. He has single jointed knee, which gets him that far. He has hip rotation. He has slight ankle tilt, not much. He's got a lot of toe. And of course, because it's on a ball joint, you can rotate it however you wish. So, let me fix this up and we'll get back to final size comparison. So here we are, here he is with MP10, of course. Wreck-Gar didn't get a chance to meet Optimus Prime until the Return of Optimus Prime episode, and as you can see, Wreck-Gar's arm's fallen off. No, that is not broken, it is a feature. You can easily plug it back on. That arm just has a tendency to fall off every time I articulate it. So there we are. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. If you would like, give me a subscribe. Maybe even leave me a comment. So thank you for watching. Well, I should say thank you for watching us, or at least listening to me and as she observed me. So thank you, my niece.
You're welcome.
And I'll catch you next time.